Hey guys, welcome back to Ray's Creek Cards. I'm Ray Henderson, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Morristown, Tennessee. Hope everybody's been having a great week, and I hope you have a better weekend coming up. Today's card is it is a SIP card. We are not going to be doing any die cutting. We are simply using stamps, ink, and paper. And the beauty of this one is that you get 3 cards for your work, for your effort into the card making. So I am using Enduring Beauty, and I'm going to be using this large image. And then for my sentiment, I actually pulled the Hello from Garden Meadow, which is in our online exclusives. Should still be there. Last time I looked it was. You're going to need 3 pieces of white that are all cut 3/4 by 5, and I did go ahead and pre-stamp the image on these 3 pieces, but we're going to have to stamp that image on these 3 pieces. And the colors that I picked out, you're going to want 3 different colors, whatever colors suit your fancy. I have got Granny Apple Green, Flirty Flamingo, and Azure Afternoon. You're going to want 3 neutral card bases, and so for mine, I went with Crumb Cake, and they're just typical 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4. Nothing fancy there. And when we get ready to start putting our cards together, you want 3 black mats, and these are cut at 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. Okay, so I'm going to lay that to the side. I'm going to bring in my Misty, where I've already got that big stamp mounted. And we are going to get ready and stamp the same image just like I showed you on the white pieces. And we're going to stamp our Flirty Flamingo, our Azure Afternoon, and our Granny Apple Green. So let me make sure I'm in the camera here. You can kind of see what I'm doing. I apologize for the glare. I've eliminated it as much as I could. Now I've got my hand up under it because the middle of these flowers is a solid, and I'm wanting to make sure that I get good ink coverage in the middle of those flowers. And it has been my experience in stamping on the white cardstock that this is going to take a couple of stamps just to make sure everything is good and vivid. And I'm not getting the middle of the flower quite like I want to. I figured out if I stuck my finger right behind that, it did a lot better. Let me make sure it's right up in that corner. I want all the pieces to look exactly the same. And press that in real good. Real well. I swear sometimes, depending on who you talk to a lot. Oh, our expressions, the way we talk. Sometimes it isn't always correct or perfect. And look at that. Stop that. All right. Hopefully one more time. Because as you can tell, there's a little scanty there. A little bit. Down. And then when we get all 3 panels done, it won't be long before the magic starts happening. In the middle of that one is still a little scant, as well as right in here, I can tell. So I'm going to go back and redo the middle of that flower, and then just right around it. See if we can't get that a little bit better. You want vivid black images. That looks pretty good. A little bit light right there. Did I get it? Now I did try to make sure when I mounted my stamp that I didn't have any air bubbles, because if you have air bubbles, it'll fight you tooth and nail. And I don't think I had any air bubbles. All right, let me very carefully lift that out. And since my Azure Afternoon is laying right there, I'm going to stick that in, make sure everything is back up in the corner. I love this sticky mat that's in here. It helps a lot. However, do you see how there's a little bit of play right there? And so you want to make sure you're in the exact same spot every time, because if you're off a little, especially with the way this one is designed, it will throw you off. And you will not have the effect that you need for all 3 cards. Okay, I'm just going to kind of press that a little bit. I do have my black foam mat in there, as you can tell. Okay, pretty good off of one stamp. Let's go ahead and get the other one. I wasn't even sure that I was going to get a video up for you guys. I was not sure at all that I was going to be able to do this. And uh-oh, I really got a lot of ink. I pressed a little too hard. I don't want it to be gloppy. Let me get my little mat right here and kind of take up that worst. Oh my goodness, yeah. We don't want it globby. We just want a good, vivid, black image. There we go. So I'm being careful as to where I'm putting my pressure. Okay. Okay, let's see what happens here. Just lightly. I'm not pressing really hard. I'm just giving it some gentle pressure. Sometimes we just kind of have to figure out what we're doing and the best way to do it, right? And I am just not getting solid ink in the middle of that flower, and I didn't even clean that one. So I don't know what's going on there. I do want that filled in. And that's still, I'm beginning to think I may have something on that stamp. I may have picked up a little something, something. So let's try that one more time. I didn't even hit it with the cleaning towel, so I know there's not water on it. And that is still not solid. Well, the other one was solid. Don't you just love technical difficulties when you're trying to get a video done? Because I'm kind of racing against the clock, and it seems like anymore that is the story of my life. All right, we're going to call that one good. Lay it over to the side. And here is our Granny Apple Green. Again, making sure I am up in that corner and that everything is going to line up the same. And we're going to do this one. I hope this is not boring to you guys. I really do. I don't know what's going on. So I'm going to wet that down with some Stampin' Mist very well. And let me grab a paper towel. I don't want to scrub it because I don't want to get any fuzzies on it. I just want to get up the worst of all that ink, all that moisture, and let's see if now maybe I can get that to behave. Is it dry? Feels dry. My goodness. Don't need technical difficulties after I start to film a video. Any other time, I do just fine. I'm beginning to think that I may have an air bubble under there, so I'm going to redo that. Let's see if that makes a difference. Because I have not used anything on my stamp that should not have been used. I either use water or stamp cleaner. And if I'm using, jet black ink, I always use stamp cleaner. That's not too bad. It's a little light in the middles. A little light. See if I can go in and fill that in a little bit. Wow. Okay. Well, for whatever reason, it's fighting me. But this is our last panel. Let's see what we can get done here. I may end up just taking a black pen and filling that in if it's not filled in. It's not. I don't have, whoops, I don't have a black gel pen sitting here for me to fill that in. Didn't think I would need it. All right. We're going with it. I see a little tiny bit there. I'm sure after the video, I will figure out exactly what was going on, why it was not behaving for me on all this ink up off my sticky mat. That waffle flower mat that I told y'all guys that I got, there's no slack. And probably what I should have done was put that in there. I am going to take some stamping mist and clean that really well because I will not need that stamp again. And I want all that off of there. Best I can get it. I actually have an old toothbrush over here to the side. And I have been known to really go to town with a toothbrush and get that clean. Carefully. Don't want to stretch that photopolymer. I'm going to lay this to the side for the minute. We will need it here in a few for our sentiment to stamp it on. And I think, just to make real sure I have got this, I am going to bring in my Stampin' Scrub and scrub this very quickly because I don't want to leave it with any residue in there. My little stamps get well used. They get stained up enough. So I'm really scrubbing that. And now I'll clean it over here. Alright, and now I know I am good to put that stamp back up. Now, for right now, I'm going to bring in my trimmer. And we are going to take our Granny Apple Green, our Azure Afternoon, our Flirty Flamingo. And what you want to do is take and cut off 1/2 inch from the bottom. And this is going to be discard. Unless you can figure, you know, and depending on what image you use, you may be able to use that somewhere else. But make sure I'm at 1/2 inch, not 3/4 of an inch. My straight, my lined up. I turned it this way thinking it might help you guys see it a little bit better. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, 1/2 inch. And there is a reason we are doing this, and you'll see why here in a minute. Alright. Oh, didn't put the lid back on my memento. Let me get that secured over here so I can not get into it any more than I need to. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and flip it this way. And let's go to 1/2 inch. And we're going to cut 3 1/2 inch pieces off of each colored piece that we just stamped. So I know that's my bottom. Here is my middle. There's my middle piece. And then here is, make sure I'm straight. And then here is my top piece. So I have all 3 pieces perfectly together. So there's that one. Let's bring in the Flirty Flamingo. We're going to do the exact same thing again. This might remind you of a stack, cut and shuffle technique. Kinda, but not really. We have strips instead. There's my middle piece. And then one more time. Make sure I'm right on it, not going past it. Where I'm standing, and my field of vision is kind of slanted. All right, and there is that one. I'm going to put my green ones, my Granny Apple Green. And then here is my Azure Afternoon. And we want 3 of those. So here's my bottom. Here's my middle. And here is my top one. Okay. All right. You're fixing to see why we've been doing all that we have been doing. Now, these are not usable in our cards today. However, there is enough of that design showing there. I'll put a little sentiment on these later and just slip them in somebody's pocket or lunchbox or something like that. Right now, we do not need the trimmer. We will come back to it. We are going to bring in our 3 white panels that were also 3 3/4 by 5, and I did pre-stamp them. And see how well they were stamping? So somewhere between me stamping these and us doing this on camera, something happened because the ink really wasn't wanting to stick. Either that or my poor little Memento is giving up the ghost and needs to be fed with some re-inker. Okay, so we're going to take one. Let me get my glue ready. And you're going to take a bottom piece and we're going to line this up with where it matches right there on our design. Do you see how that, let me hold it up. See how that matches right there? Although I need to bring it over just a hair. See that? That's what we're looking for. So I'm going to put the glue on here. Get that lined up. Right there. Make sure everything is lined up going across. Am I lined up? My leaves lined up. I'm off a little bit. There we go. I didn't have it up far enough. Sketch that over. Oh, I don't have it high enough. I was trying to bring it down too far. Now we're getting it. There we go. Now we're going to end up, after all these get put on here, now I'm taking the middle of the Granny Apple Green, and that should just line right up, right on top of where we put that first one, and it does. We're going to end up trimming these panels down, so if you don't cut it just right, it's fine. We're going to trim it anyway here. And then I need the top piece of my Azure Afternoon. Get that lined up. Right there on top. There we go. Good for that one. I'm going to lay it to the side while it's drying. Now I'm going to take, how do I want to do this? Which one do I need? I need this one for the bottom. We took the bottom there first, so I'm moving up one to the Granny Apple Green, and this will be my bottom piece for this one. Get my little images all lined up. There we go. That looks good. And hopefully I'm putting them on straight. It would be awful if I wasn't. And then we are going up to this one. This is the one I need. That's the one I need to finish that. Okay. Line these up together. Make sure my images are all lining up with each other. I'm a little shy over here. Let me butt it over. Okay. We're good, we're good, we're good. And then I want this very top piece out of the Flirty Flamingo. You'll have all three of the same colors on the cards. They just won't all be in the same order. And this particular design, depending on the colors that you use, you can absolutely make sympathy cards, thank you cards. I just need some generic thank you cards. So, generic thank you, generic birthday, which is why I decided on the hello for mine. Because then on the inside of my card, I can put any other kind of sentiment on the inside I want to put. There we go. And here's my next piece. This is so cute. It's so cute. I'm loving this. Takes a little bit of prep work. A little bit, it does. But then, once you've got all your pieces cut and everything is stamped, you're just putting them together. I mean, it's took us hardly any time at all to put these strips down. If I can get the glue bottle back up there. Alright, now that we have this, we are going to cut the whole panels down, and we are going to cut it down to 3.5 by 4 3/4. So I'm going to get my trimmer back up here. So we're going to go to 3.5. I'm going to go to 3.5, and I'm going to be cutting on this side. I actually did change my blade because my blade was getting a little bit on the wore out side. I thought, well, I'll flip it, right? And because I'm always cutting from the bottom up, no, that side was dull too. All right, and then we're going to go to 4 3/4 right there. Just going to take that little bit off the top. Okay, 3.5. Four 3/4. Yep. 3.5. And I see I have a little artifact right there. May be able to cover that up. Don't know. I'm sure I got it on my hands. Gee, you think? And I probably transferred it. That's all right. That's okay. And then 4 3/4. Look, it almost got it. Dang it. Maybe I should trim that just a little bit more. Oh my goodness. All right, now our black panels that I told you were 3 5/8 by 4 7/8 will fit perfectly on here. I may not be able to cover that up. I can't see being able to justify having a little bit of bling or something all the way up there, right on the edge. Now, I'm just not going to let it bother me. It's handmade, right? Not Hallmark. And so we're going to have our little black mat with just a little bit of a border all the way around. Instead of my liquid glue, because I'm getting real low and I didn't refill it, I'm going to bring in my tape runner and use my tape runner on here. I just ran out. Well, I guess I will use glue because I'm not going to make you wait while I go dig out one of my refills. Can you tell? I love that stuff. I use it so much. Alright, let's got this on our black mat here. Trying to make sure I'm straight, even borders on both sides. Okay, for that one, let's go one more. Yeah, we've been having a lot of storms. If you live anywhere in the south or even a little north of us, like Virginia, Kentucky, places like that, we've just been getting constantly hammered. And I look forward to being able to get outside to some degree in the springtime so that I can get a toehold on the weeds, because I tell you guys, if you'll get them when they're very first coming up and they're small, the root systems are not very developed. They'll come up so much easier. They won't have time to set seed and spread. I don't think I have that one. I don't have that one quite right. Let me sketch this over. And from then on, once you've done that spring weeding, it's a piece of cakewalk the rest of the summer. But I have had a hard time getting out there. All right, I've already got all this glued together, and I'm going to bring my Misty back in. We're going to put our little sentiment. We're going to get that lined up, get that stamped, and then we can get them on our card bases, and we're going to be done. Okay, I've got my little hello stamp. Now, I've got that up in the corner, got that up in the corner. And let me see. I think I want my hello right about there. Right about there. I heard, and I've got an old one. Let's see if it works. I heard that to keep these from sticking to you, if you'll use an eraser. Looky there. It's not sticking to the eraser. Oh, that is awesome. All right, let me pick that up. It does work, guys. Even an old gnarly one. Well, that is just fantastic. All right, let me bring in my little bit of clear sheet here. It's not sliding up there for some reason. I could have seen this better if I hadn't put it on the black. Okay. Okay, now I'm up in there. I felt it. I felt it go. Let me lightly ink this up. And I just put my hands right in the ink pad as I was trying to get the lid off. Oh, are we having fun? Hey, we're all good and inky. We must be having fun. All right, that is nothing compared to all the ink blending projects I was doing, so I would have samples for tomorrow's cards, though. Okay. Ah, get back in there. Is that straight? Well, I don't know. I can't get it back up in the corner. That looks pretty good. So, before I do any more damage, let's wipe that off. Put that to the side. It's all right, guys. I got to take a shower here in a little bit, wash my hair. A lot of that'll be gone. And do we ever get rid of our dirty dishes all the way? No. I'll have some here shortly. Oh, my goodness. All right. I need to rename my channel The Messy Crafter. Oh, my goodness, I do. That stamps so well. Oh, that looks so good. Okay. The font helps a whole lot too, doesn't it? Now, I'm being careful. I wipe my hands off with my rag, but you know how that goes. You know how it'll come up and bite you when you least expect it. Okay, let's get this one. Make sure everything is back up in that corner. Okay. Oh, I hate to think just because it's a skinny little pad that I'm going to start having issues holding on to smaller items. Although, that could be possible. Isn't that pretty? I love it. Love, love, love it. But y'all leave comments and let me know what you think. Oh, I totally forgot. At the very beginning of the video, I wanted to give credit to the originator of this idea. And as far as I know, she was the originator for this idea. Gina K of Gina K Designs. This is where I saw it. She did it a few months back. And her card was a fall card. So she used fall colors. And she used one of her silhouette stamps. I don't have any of her silhouette stamps. I kind of wished I had of. But this was pretty. This Enduring Beauty. Very much. Very pretty. Let me that up off my mat. Oh, I'm loving it. Love, love, love it. And let's bring in our card bases and get all three of them put together. And again, depending on how you want to do your card base on the inside of your card, you may need outright thank you cards. I mean, that may be what you need. And there we go. Got that. And get my glue. We'll get this put together. All of a sudden, my ears started ringing really loud. I don't know what's up with that. I paid homage to the crafting gods. And then some. Oh my goodness. All right, guys. Okay, am I straight? Nope. Even I can tell that's a little crooked. I'm going to pick that up and straighten that out a little bit. There we go. Now we're straight. Now we're straight. So we have that one. Hold that, move that out of my way. We're going to do number 2, and then we'll have number 3 done. And you guys, I hope you can use this idea. I thought it was really pretty. Depending on the colors, I mean, you can make a guy card out of this. You can make a sympathy card out of this. Congratulations. Hello, baby. And it really didn't take long, even with me. Doing my usual shenanigans. Oh, me. All right. Now, you might have wanted to use something else for your card base. That's fine. You pick out what makes sense to you. Still think that's a little off. There we go. Got it, got it. All right, guys. Now, let's find some bling. And in thinking about bling, these are retired. Trying to figure out if I want the gold. Do I want the gold or do I want the silver? Man, I wish we were doing this live so y'all could put your votes in. Silver would be kind of muted. The gold might clash. Let's do the silver. Right or wrong, I'm going to do the silver. Right or wrong, I've got to get my glue secured before it clogs up. If I can get a hold of it. There we go. All right. I think I'm just going to take these metallic pearls and put one there. One there. I'm scared to death to touch these cards with all the black I have on me. I'll put one there. Oh, goodness. And I think I'm going to do 5. I'm going to put another one right down there. Let's put one over here. There we go. Sometimes I like to just kind of go for the gold. Although in this case, we're going for the silver. Okay. And sometimes it's just nice to add more. And these are retired. I know when they're gone, they're gone. But guess what, guys? I have another whole pack of these. Oh, I do. Oh. I bought a bunch of these way back in the day. You know, I'm not going to mess with that since that's been on my inky skin. It's probably not going to have enough sticky left to stay on my card. So I've got that one. Come on. Got this one. And this one. So yeah, while y'all are watching this tomorrow, I'm getting ready to go out the door and go to our class, and I'm really excited. I'm very excited about our class. I truly am. It's just going to be so much fun. We're going to have so many different techniques that we are going to get to do and play with, and I'm eager to see everybody's take on their version of ink blending. All right, guys, so there we go. There are our 3 cards. What do you think? Y'all be safe, be blessed. God is good all the time. Bye.